Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Adrienne. I live in New York City and I love playing with makeup. It just brings me peace, joy, happiness. It's what I've been doing for this past hour, is just like testing some new things, and I really should be packing, but I'm sort of procrastinating, and the best way to procrastinate is apparently to lip swatch 40 different lipsticks and make some tough decisions. And so my lips are pretty bruised up, but I feel like now I'm at a place where I actually want to put some makeup on my face. And I had a lovely disruption at my door where a little package from Miss Pat McGrath arrived, and I definitely want to play with two lip products I picked up from a recent sale that she was having, and I'm so excited about them. So I just recently washed my face. I have nothing on it, and I figured let's start. I bought this big bottle of Biossance, the Squalane and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. I tried this a while ago, and in a mini, it was like part, I think, of like the Sephora kit, or it was a freebie, I don't know, but I really liked it, and I said, well, it's not that expensive to pick up, the big bottle, and it's nice even for the body, but when I went to use it the other day, I thought it felt a lot more hydrating and kind of like oily than the sample I used. The sample I used sort of felt like a lot of Coola sunscreens. It felt sort of like it had a dry texture to it, like it kind of mattified and dried, and this does not feel that way. So I wonder if they changed their formula a bit. I don't mind it. It's still pretty thin, and it doesn't leave a white cast, even though it is a mineral sunscreen, but just wanted to point that out. If you're like me and you tried the sample of this and you thought, oh, it's a nice kind of dry feeling, kind of velvety feeling sunscreen, it is not that way, not the big bottle. It's a lot thicker, like it feels kind of thick. Now I'm using this one because the foundation that I'm using, that I've tried, sort of needs a little bit of this hydration, so I thought it would play well with it. So yeah, that is that, and it leaves a really nice like dewy glow. It's nice, but just want to make mention of it. Let me put on something on my lips because they really do feel busted. They're all cracked. I don't know why I thought trying on a bunch of lipsticks was a good idea. I'm just going to put on the Catrice Powerful 5 Glossy Lip Oil. This has hyaluron, almond oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. It's this one here. This is a really beautiful product. And not even just beautiful because it's a drugstore or like for the drugstore. It's beautiful because it's beautiful. It's not sticky at all, and it feels very hydrating, and it does make your lips quite juicy, and it just feels healing. And so I want that on my lips while I do the rest of my makeup. So how's everyone doing? I feel very sort of like kind of happy, giddy, which is a little bit weird for me because I haven't been feeling that way, but I was just listening to a lot of music, and that I have Spotify, and by the end of the week or the end of the month, they give you the suggested list of maybe other songs you might like or other music you might like. Well, one song came on that I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard this song for ages. It was Katie Lang's Constant Craving. I love that song so much. And it's just it's so nice to like have sort of an endless array of music at your hands. I actually do think it's like a wonderful thing. I used to spend so much money on music. I was one of those like CD album collectors. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on music. And so this is a way for me to access music, and it's pretty exciting for me that I have, so many things at the drop of a hat. The problem is, it's too much sometimes, and I don't even know where to start. So I do like when they make the suggestion. I'm actually mixing two colors in this Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. This is a long wear foundation with hyaluronic acid. It's this one here. This one had gotten great reviews. It was kind of hard to get my hands on. And then I set it aside and I never really tried it. And so I just recently tried it and I really, really like it. It is a fuller coverage foundation, but it's super thin on the skin. So I have the color Neutral Porcelain and Warm Vanilla. So number 4, number 15. So you see the difference there, quite different, but I mix them up and I just kind of put it around my face and it's a pretty good shade match. And again, what's incredible about it is it's so thin. It's such a thin formula. So even though it is that fuller coverage, it really doesn't provide that heaviness. And that's one of the reasons why I never use full coverage foundations, is I'm still kind of wary of the heaviness of them. I know they've changed a lot, you know, advances in foundation, but I don't know, I'm still such a tinted moisturizer girl. But this, I mean, look how easily it blends out and it dries pretty quickly. And although it dries and it says hydrating, I don't feel like this is a hydrating formula at all. It almost feels like slightly drying. That's why I thought putting that sunscreen underneath would actually be quite nice for it. I'm gonna take a closer look at my skin and just make sure I made the right decision. And a little goes a long way. Like you see, it basically covered everything on my face. I had like some spots and look how much I have left. So I'm going to just maybe take a little bit more and grab and just maybe pinpoint. So that is that foundation there. I think that is extraordinary. I don't know if I like this more than the Makeup Revolution. I think I might like it a little more just because there's no scent that comes from it, whereas the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Glow, as nice as that is, does have that kind of paint smell. And I just took a look at my skin and it does sit really nicely over that Biossance. So I'm a combo girl, so if you feel like you might need a little bit more hydration, I'd say go ahead and put on a hydrating primer or hydrating something underneath before you use this. Maybe if you're an oily gal, this is just fine the way it is and you don't want to add anything more to it. But I do find like it just looks so pretty. Like, do you see that finish? It's a real natural finish and it's pretty full coverage. So very excited about that. I don't even feel the need with this foundation to powder or anything. And it's a pretty kind of warm day in New York. So yeah, I just thumbs up on this. I hope it's easier to find now. I think, you know, a while ago, Tati had given it a really good review and it just started selling out everywhere. So I wanted to use that on camera and just share how much I love it. Another product which I've already raved about, which I will be using again today, though I thought I'd use it a little differently just so you could really see its impact, is from Haus Labs. This is the Chocolate Opal Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlight. Again, if you saw my previous video, I do not use this as a highlight. I use this as a bronzer. I sometimes use sort of a cream bronzer underneath and this will sit on top to give it a little bit of a glow. But I wanted to show you how I use it directly as a bronzer too, because I just think this color is extraordinary. If you have fair, light, medium skin, using this as a bronzer, I'm telling you, you will thank me for it. Thank me for it. So I wanted to show you, I'm using a stipple brush that's a dual fiber, just any stipple brush, and I'm just going to take that and start to build it up And it is a rich color, but it is very blendable. And there again, there's no glitter particles in this. It's just a beautiful tone if you want the look of you actually got color. You actually were in the sun. I mean, do you see how beautiful that is? That is crazy how nice that is. And again, like, no one's talking about this product in this way. It makes me so mad because sometimes, you know, unless you go into a store and swatch products and sort of like think about them creatively and not maybe as the way they're being marketed, you miss opportunities. So that's why I do still like going inside the stores and like looking at things, because I'm always pleasantly surprised by a couple of products, and this one by far is my favorite find. I think of this whole year so far. Just incredible. Look at that. It's just so beautiful, not glimmery, not shimmery. The tone is just right. I think that there's one other kind of deeper color, so you could probably do the same thing if you have maybe a different undertone. So I would play around with it, but just this formula in particular is really, really lovely. Haven't picked up a lighter shade yet to try as a either blush topper or a highlight, but I really, really love Chocolate Opal. Chocolate Opal, people, totally worth it. And the packaging is sick. It's gorgeous and has just that magnetic clasp. It feels so luxe, so luxe. I have this other product by Essence that had a tragedy in my house. I'm going to insert a picture here of what it looks like had it not shattered. But this is the Essence Kissed by the Light Illuminating Powder. I have mine in the shade Sunkissed, but look at the tragedy. This is not packaging on Ulta's part. This is my clumsiness, and it fell and it shattered, and I still wanted to use it. This I was hoping was sort of going to be like the Haus Labs, but drugstore. As it turns out, though, it's not, but it's a bit more shimmery, but it's not glittery. I do think Essence makes some really nice highlighting formulas. And so I wanted to go ahead and try to top that highlighter with some of this so you can see the glow. It is quite nice. So you see it has like more now of a golden sheen. It's really pretty. And that's a way I think like to amp up the Haus Labs. I might actually pick this up again just because I do like it, and I don't have a highlighting powder that's like this with the same type of tone that isn't going to impart crazy glitter flicks. So I just want to show you like how pretty that is. So I think that's a lovely release from the drugstore. And again, if you kind of want that glowy vibe, I think it's really beautiful. It's just such a shame that it broke on me. A blush that I've been playing around with, and I have another shade in, is from Benefit. It is one of their new box blushes. This one is in Butterfly. I love the shade Butterfly. It is this crazy kind of orangey, glowy color. Now, these are heavily fragranced, and I thought I was okay with it, but now I'm actually thinking I might be having a reaction to it. The other day I wore Java, that's the other color I have, which I really like, but as I was out in the city and I was sweating, I found my cheeks were very, very itchy. And it was concentrated on my cheeks. So it wasn't my sunscreen, it wasn't my foundation, it was my cheeks. And they were just extremely, extremely itchy. the moment I started to perspire a little bit, and they remained itchy even as I stopped perspiring. So I was like, oh, maybe this has something to do with my blush. So I'm going to be a little cautious with this one and see if I'm having the same type of reaction. But I mean, they are so heavily fragranced. They smell like an Estee Lauder perfume was dropped in. So I picked up quite a bit. It's a beautiful orangey glowy shade. Had I not put on that highlighter, you would probably see a little bit more of the glow, but with the highlighter, it's a nice combination because that goldiness, okay, you see, I'm putting it on and I can already feel my skin like tender. Oh no, I'm mad now. Maybe if you do have sensitivity to fragrance, these might not be the ones for you. And I'm thinking I might even have that issue. But it's such a beautiful color. I do think I have a shade like this from Alamar Cosmetics. So I don't know that it's a need in my life, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I have become, like with age, much more sensitive to fragrance and products. I also think that if you make a conscious effort to remove fragrance from products, like in your life, and then you go back, you have developed a sensitivity. I have noticed that because there were products that I didn't react to, and I've been a bit more cognizant of not having those type of products in my life, and then I go back to them and I'm like, whoa, I don't remember this burning feeling. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Let me put on something in these eyebrows. Is there anything new I want to try? Let's give this Brow Wow from e.l.f. a shot. This is in deep brown. I don't remember how I feel about this. Do you hear the music outside? This is what it's like to live in my neighborhood in the summer. It's constant music, constant. I mean, I live like right on one of the busiest streets in New York, so that's my own choosing. I think that did something. It didn't make them too full, didn't impart like too much color, but just enough color. I think this is good for today. I kind of want this beachy kind of vibe. I'm loving playing with like the oranges, and so I'm going to continue that with the palette I'm playing with. And can I just share one more thing? Like, I know it's a tangent, but I have this burning right by me, and it makes a wonderful crackling sound, but I love the scent. This candle, this is what I'm burning. It was a collaboration between Taylor, Wynn, and Anchored Northwest. They're a small kind of Etsy brand of handmade candles, and they're such beautiful candles. But all three scents that she collaborated on, I love. They're so unique and sophisticated. But this one in particular, Love You Loads, is a laundry scent, like kind of like Gain or something like that. It's really, really nice. And I know there are other candles. I know there's one from Bath and Body Works. That's Laundry Day, but this one is just, it's way nicer. It's much more potent. It has like a wick that is made out of actual like balsam wood, and so it has that little crackly sound. It's really, really beautiful. I've enjoyed it immensely. It's the one I keep in my bedroom because I like that kind of scent in my bedroom, especially if I'm trying to be productive. But I just wanted to make mention of that. Let me show you the palette I'm playing with. This palette I picked up the other day. I have no business buying palettes because if you saw my palette declutters, I have too many palettes. But I was in a TJ Maxx, which I'm never in a TJ Maxx, and I was in a TJ Maxx to purchase this little cutie for my sister's garden. So random. I saw it from the street walking in New York City, and I was like, I have to buy this for my sister's garden. And I found myself then kind of browsing, of course, and I looked at their makeup section. I should never go into their makeup section, and I saw they had quite a few BH Cosmetics palettes, and I already have quite a few of them, but I didn't have this one. This is the Mimosa palette, and it just spoke to me on a summery, fun day. Yeah, I was like, forget it. For $7.99, I got it. Yes, I did. And I have been enjoying it. And that is the point, right? If I'm enjoying it, it's okay. It's okay. There are worse things than spending $7 on an eyeshadow palette. And so let me put on some eye primer, because I do think this, to get some vibrancy from some of these shades, although a lot of them are vibrant, I do want a little bit of staying power. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Eye Primer. You only need like the smallest amount, and you get your whole eye covered, which I like about this primer. It's a little drying on my eyelids. It's a nice brightening base, especially if you're using any kind of like lighter colors. So that is the eye primer I use. You need the tiniest bit, and it does its job, which is really what I needed to hold some of my oils at bay. So let's get into this Moza palette. I think I'm going to start first with that yellow called Sunny, this one here. I just think BH Cosmetics has such beautiful color stories and at such an affordable price point. And I think they're coming out with some more based on their like cities line, and I'm very excited, because if you do feel like some new makeup but you don't feel like spending hundreds of dollars, it's just nice that you can have a little gift that can really lift your spirits. And I'm telling you, that day at TJ Maxx, between the little garden gnome, this palette, and I got some hair clips, I mean, oh, and I also got myself a faux plant. And those 4 items, you know, spending $40 made me so happy. So this Sunny is like a very pale yellow. You can build it up, but I just wanted a little bit of a wash of it because I wanted to have a bit of a sunset vibe. So that's Sunny for you. Next, I'm going to go into Bottomless, which is this sort of pinkish color right there, but it has some coral in it. I love this color. This is a color for me that I would like easily put just all over my eyelid and call it a day. It's a favorite of mine. Just anytime I find this type of color in a palette, it makes me very happy. What I also love about BH Cosmetics is you don't have to be careful with how you apply. Like, they help you blend, you know. There's something really forgiving about their formula that it helps you blend. There's good pigmentation, but it isn't so strongly pigmented from the outset that you go very far, very fast, like in a direction maybe you don't want to go. So I love that color. It has like a bit of pastel in it, so it's very brightening. I'm gonna go into OJ, which is this color here. Notice I'm using the same brush this entire time, just to round it, you know, not too fluffy, but not too densely packed. This one is from the Hot and Flashy collaboration with BK Beauty. I love their brushes. I think they're great brushes. I do think also brushes help you, like the quality of brushes really do help you. So if you're struggling with, you know, even palettes that everyone says, oh, they're so easy to blend, and you're having trouble, look to your brushes, because maybe it's time to invest a little bit in some new brushes. They don't have to be high-end brushes. I've had a lot of good experience with Real Techniques, with Moda, with e.l.f. So you don't have to spend a lot, but Definitely worth looking at your brushes and seeing if they're helping you or hindering you. I'm loving how that's looking. It's very soft. I think I'm gonna do something just a little bit punchier in the corner. I'm only gonna take that very tip and put it into Raspberry, which is sort of the brightest color in the palette. And it is highly pigmented. I have used this palette already and it's quite kind of punchy, neon-y, but ooh. So I'm not gonna make it too vivid. That's why I just wanted to use the tiniest bit, but that over the whole eyelid, ooh, really, really pretty. I was afraid of pinks for a long time. And then my mom gave me the Natasha Denona Love Palette one Christmas. And that kind of like did it for me. I started to experiment with pinks and I realized they're actually like a really beautiful color on the eye, especially for brunettes, like, or brown-eyed girls. Like, I don't know, I think they look really nice. I'm just really enjoying this palette. Best $7.99 I've spent in a while. Above that, I'm going to put on a little bit of this Kosas 10-second eyeshadow. I think these were recently reformulated because previously the 10-second eyeshadows, they were very, very liquidy. This is moussier. You don't have to shake it as much. So I do think they reformulated. So I'm gonna put some of this just right along there and pat it out. I do much prefer the reformulation of this. And again, the shade I'm using is Heat. But I'm gonna go back into the palette while it's still a little tacky, though it does dry down very quickly. And I'm gonna use that shade Champagne, which is a very goldy champagne. Very different than probably your idea of champagne. And I'm gonna start that all the way in the inner corner and work it in a little bit with my fingers. It's a tiny bit flaky, but it's super sparkly and beautiful. Okay, so that's the eye look there. I really love this. Just the fairy-like goldy color all along the inner eye. I'm really impressed. I don't know if you can find this any longer. I know this is an older palette, but I like it. If these colors kind of speak to you and it's fun, why not? Let me put on some mascara. I am making my way through the Benefit BadGal Bang, which I really like. And I also opened recently the Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham, it's a bit of a learning curve with it. It is a tubing mascara, and that is not something I was aware of before, so I'm still playing around with it, but I still don't think it's like a holy grail kind of thing. I just quickly applied the Benefit BadGal Bang. I love this mascara. I keep loving this mascara. I mean, the reaction I have when I put on this mascara versus Victoria Beckham, I mean, like I said, I will continue to use it, but I'm not over the moon with it. This one I love. It just does all good things for my lashes. I put in my waterline the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on Eye Pencil. I gotta use my eyeliners more, and I always forget, have to bring them forward. This one's in Scorch. I just thought it would complement that without detracting from the pretty kind of coral pop and kind of neon vibe. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let us put on some lip products. The two lip products that I received just now from Pat McGrath, I want to swatch them. So I swore a long time ago I was never going to buy Pat McGrath's Lip Fetish Sheer Color Lip Balms, but I keep buying the mini versions, and those are the ones that you'll see like on sale at Sephora, on sale on Pat McGrath's site. That's these here. I keep buying them and using them all up, and I really, really love the formula. So when Pat McGrath recently had a sale, which I feel happens often, so that doesn't make me feel as bad, I decided to pick up two shades in the Lip Fetish Sheer Color Lip Balm. I picked up the shades Dark Romance and Passion Flower. Let's start with Dark Romance because I don't know that it's going to be the color I'm going to be wearing today. So they come in this component, a little bit different than the original. This is Dark Romance. I love this formula. I mean, am I gonna leave this color on? I just might leave this color on. I love this formula. I want to tell you it's not worth the price, but it's so hydrating and it is really, really thin. I mean, it sort of reminds me of the Afterglow lip balms from NARS, which I own a slew of. This one's a bit more purpley in color, this Dark Romance, but I like it. I even like it with that eye look. It's very vampy. Maybe for nighttime. Let me put on the other one, Passion Flower. I don't know if this one's gonna show up as well because my lips are so tender. Yeah, this one is probably not as pink and a little bit more peach, but my lips are so pink right now that I think it's making it look more pink than it actually is. It's a pretty color though. Even with my busted up lips, I like it. And I love that formula. I do like this, but I was hoping for something a little different for my look. So before Pat McGrath knocked on my door and delivered hers, I had something else in mind. So let me go ahead and put that on. So this is the NYX Milky Gloss. They came out with some new, you know, kind of scents, flavors. This one is Mango Lassi. And I had tried this formula and I didn't love the color that I had tried, but I liked the formula a lot. So when I saw this one, and this smells very much like a mango, very fruity. Oh yeah, this is the color I meant to wear today with this eye look. I love this color. It's so beautiful. Again, very strong fragrance, so if you're not into it, I hear you. But this one doesn't seem to irritate me. I've worn it a few times. It's not a sticky formula. It's really comfortable. I love that it has a lot of still some sheerness. I was a bit worried initially that they call this a milky gloss. So it has pigmentation, but it's still a transparent gloss. I find that the lip butters are much milkier in consistency, and I don't like the way that those make my lips look. This one allows for my lips to peek through, and it kind of just gives them a nice cushiony feel and just, yeah, not sticky, like really, really pretty. And this color is beautiful. Just very, very unique. I love it. And just perfect for kind of summer vibes. I mean, like Mimosa Palette, Mango Lassi on the lips. I mean, it's just so good. And chocolate opal all over my face. Are you kidding me? So yeah, that's sort of my like summer vibe look. I think I'm gonna end up packing all this stuff that I wore for the most part. Maybe I'll something a bit lighter for Florida for my trip. But when you see this, I will probably already be down in Florida, and hopefully I will be able to film a couple of videos. I have some new lip products that I want to try and give quick reviews on, so I might do that from the road. But anywho, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me, and that this kind of summer vibe helps you embrace the summer. Maybe look around what you have and see if you can't think about it differently, apply it differently. Go for a fun shade on the eye. It's not that scary. just blend it out really well, and even just start with just one shadow, and you'd be surprised how much joy it brings to the face, and you'll get tons of compliments. I'm telling you, that and a really just good mascara, gloss, you're good. You're good. Hope that everyone is doing well and that you are planning something wonderful for yourself this summer, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.